The church was filled with worshippers, their voices rising in unison as hymns echoed through the sacred space. It was a routine Sunday service, no different from any other. The pastor stood at the pulpit, delivering his sermon with conviction, while families sat in the pews, their heads bowed in prayer. There was a feeling of peace, a sense of unity among the congregation. But no one could have expected that this seemingly ordinary day would turn into a moment of divine wonder. One that would be caught on camera and send shockwaves through those who witnessed it. As the pastor spoke, an unusual presence seemed to fill the room. A soft glow flickered at the front of the church, barely noticeable at first. Some thought it was a trick of the light, others assumed it was the reflection of the chandeliers overhead. But within seconds, whispers spread through the congregation. Eyes widened, hands trembled, and some people began to weep. The camera capturing the service for online streaming recorded everything. Something extraordinary was unfolding before them. The light grew stronger, pulsing like a heartbeat, moving in a way that defied logic. It wasn't harsh or blinding but gentle and warm, bathing the altar in an unearthly radiance. People gasped, clutching their chests as a powerful presence enveloped the church. It wasn't just an illusion or a simple camera glitch, everyone in the room could see it. Even those watching the live broadcast at home began commenting, their messages flooding the church's social media feed. Some claimed they felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over them through the screen. The pastor, stunned by what was happening, paused mid-sermon. He turned to see the light hovering near the pulpit, its glow intensifying. A hush fell over the room, the only sounds were quiet sobs and the rustling of fabric as people fell to their knees. Something divine was in their presence. Just as the congregation struggled to process the vision, an even more astonishing event occurred. A voice, calm yet powerful, reverberated through the church. It wasn't coming from the speakers, nor was it the pastor's voice. It was something else. Some later described it as a whisper carried by the wind, others said it was like a melody, but all agreed it was filled with authority and love. It spoke only a few words, but they were enough to send shivers down the spines of those present. I am with you. The moment the words were spoken, a collective gasp spread across the room. The glow brightened for a final time before slowly fading, leaving only stunned silence in its wake. After the service, people rushed to check the footage. Had they really seen what they thought they had? Or was it just the intensity of worship clouding their minds? But as the church's media team reviewed the video, their hands shook. The recording had captured everything, the pulsing light, the hovering glow, and even the voice. When the footage was played back, it sent chills through everyone who watched it. Skeptics tried to dismiss it, suggesting special effects, a trick of the camera, or even a hoax. But those present knew what they had experienced was real. Many were moved to tears all over again, unable to explain what they had just seen. The video quickly gained attention beyond the congregation. Church members shared it online, and within hours, it was being discussed across social media. People from around the world commented, some in awe, others in disbelief. The story was picked up by religious forums and even made its way to local news stations. While some remained skeptical, dismissing it as a coincidental play of light, others shared their own similar experiences. Testimonies poured in from people who had encountered divine moments but never had proof, until now. Many saw the video as a message from above, a reminder that faith was alive and tangible. As the video gained traction, debates erupted. Some claimed it was nothing more than an elaborate trick, lens flares, edited footage, or even a pre-planned hoax by the church. Others argued that technology could easily explain the event, dismissing it as a psychological reaction to intense emotions during worship. But those who were there stood firm in their belief. They had not just seen the light, they had felt its presence. The warmth, the peace, the overwhelming love, it was something no camera could fabricate. Even those who had initially doubted the miracle found themselves questioning their skepticism. The event had changed something deep within them. As the miraculous event continued to gain attention, both scientists and theologians took interest in studying what had taken place. The church had released the full, unedited footage, allowing experts from various fields to analyze it. Digital media specialists examined the video frame by frame, looking for any signs of manipulation. They studied the lighting in the church, the angles of the cameras, and any possible reflections that could have created the glowing figure. But after extensive scrutiny, no evidence of tampering was found. Some physicists suggested that certain atmospheric conditions or natural phenomena could have played a role in what appeared on the footage. Could it have been a rare optical illusion caused by a mix of lighting, dust, and air currents? Others proposed that the presence of so many people experiencing heightened emotions could have affected their perception of reality. Yet, these explanations felt incomplete, as they failed to account for the voice that had been heard, nor did they explain why people watching from home had also witnessed the same event. Meanwhile, religious scholars examined the theological implications of what had transpired. The words spoken, "I am with you," had deep biblical significance. Throughout Scripture, similar phrases had been used during moments of divine revelation, from God's assurances to the prophets to Christ's words to his disciples. Some scholars believed that this event was a direct message to the modern world, a call to strengthen faith in times of uncertainty. Others hesitated to declare it a miracle but acknowledged that such occurrences had been recorded throughout religious history. As discussions continued, the church welcomed those seeking to understand the experience on a deeper level. Some came with questions, others with unwavering faith, but all were drawn by an undeniable sense that something truly extraordinary had taken place. For those who had been inside the church during the event, life had changed in ways they could hardly describe. Many spoke of feeling an unshakable sense of peace, as if they had been touched by something beyond human understanding. Some described an overwhelming warmth that had filled their hearts at that moment, dispelling their doubts and renewing their faith. Others wept, unable to put into words what they had felt but certain that they had been in the presence of something divine. In the days that followed, churchgoers found themselves more connected than ever before. People who had been distant from their faith returned with renewed devotion. Strangers who had never spoken to each other before now accepted as brothers and sisters in faith. The miracle had united them in a way that no sermon or scripture study ever could. Testimonies began to emerge of personal transformations. Some reported spontaneous healing, claiming that long-standing illnesses and ailments had vanished after that day. Others spoke of newfound clarity and purpose, saying they now felt guided toward a specific path in life. Even skeptics in the congregation admitted that what they had seen and heard left them questioning everything they once believed. Word spread far beyond the walls of the church, drawing in visitors from across the country. Some traveled just to stand in the place where the miracle had occurred, hoping to feel the presence of the divine for themselves. Others came seeking answers, wanting to know if they, too, could experience something that would change their lives. As the congregation continued to reflect on what had happened, they realized that the event was not just about the miracle itself. It was about the transformation it had sparked in their hearts. Whether it had been a message from above, a sign of divine presence, or simply an unexplainable moment, one thing was clear: they would never be the same again. As the weeks passed, the church became more than just a place of worship, it became a beacon of hope for thousands. Pilgrims arrived daily, drawn by the desire to experience the sacred energy that seemed to linger in the air. People from all walks of life, believers, skeptics, and the curious alike, stepped through its doors, hoping to find peace, healing, or simply answers. The church, once a local place of worship, was now recognized on a global scale. News outlets covered the story, religious leaders from different denominations discussed its implications, and countless online societies debated whether this was truly a modern-day miracle. Regardless of their personal beliefs, those who visited could not deny the feeling of serenity that filled the space. Many claimed to feel a deep sense of comfort the moment they entered, as if an invisible presence was welcoming them. Priests and volunteers worked tirelessly to accommodate the growing crowds, organizing prayer sessions, healing services, and discussions for those who sought deeper understanding. Testimonies continued to pour in from people who claimed their lives had been changed simply by visiting the church. Some spoke of newfound faith, others of emotional burdens being lifted, and some even reported experiencing their own personal moments of divine connection. However, with the increased attention also came challenges. Skeptics and critics questioned the validity of the event, some even attempting to debunk the miracle through scientific explanations. Some accused the church of orchestrating the entire spectacle as a publicity stunt. But despite the doubts and criticisms, the faith of those who had experienced the event firsthand remained unshaken. For those who believed, this was not about proving something to the world, it was about the personal and collective transformation they had undergone. To them, the event was a reminder that in times of doubt and darkness, faith had the power to illuminate even the deepest shadows. Months after the miracle, its impact had not faded. The video of the event continued to circulate, touching hearts across the globe. For many, it served as undeniable proof that the divine was real, present, and actively working in the world. For others, it was a mystery that defied explanation, an event that could not be fully understood but could not be ignored. The church remained a place of pilgrimage, with thousands continuing to visit, seeking a connection to the miracle that had taken place. Testimonies of personal encounters with the divine only grew, reinforcing the belief that what had happened was not a one-time occurrence but a continuing manifestation of faith. Even those who had initially doubted found themselves reflecting on the event, questioning their own beliefs. What if there was more to life than what could be seen and measured? What if faith, in its purest form, was something that could be felt, something that could change lives in ways beyond human comprehension? As time went on, the church accepted its new role, not just as a place of worship but as a symbol of faith's enduring power. Its doors remained open to all, believers and non-believers alike, because, at its core, the miracle had not been about proving anything. It had been about reminding people that, even in the most unexpected moments, the divine was present. The final words spoken in that miraculous moment, "I am with you," continued to echo in the hearts of those who had heard them. And for many, those words were enough. If this story moved you, make sure to like and subscribe for more incredible testimonies that will leave you speechless.